Hey, New York District team, thanks for logging in and joining the command team for our third virtual town hall. I look forward to sharing news, updates, and how the district has been performing during our response to the COVID-19 public health crisis. First and foremost, let me say thank you once more for your efforts and patience as we continue to navigate the challenges resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic. Your health and welfare, as well as that of your family members, continues to be our top priority. I continue to be impressed with your ability to exercise a tremendous amount of perseverance during this very tumultuous time. USACE continues to adapt to the dynamic conditions caused by the COVID 19 pandemic and step up to inspire the nation and deliver an unprecedented program at the highest possible level while adapting to this new restricted operating environment. I would like to announce that we have a winner of our March Apple Award. Sorry for the delay. Mr. Chris Parkin, a deckhand on the DCV Hayward, was nominated by the Deputy Chief of Operations for his improvements to the floating plant portable dewatering pumps. The portable dewatering is used in times of emergency to dewater a flooding condition on board a vessel or provide rescue and assistance to another vessel taking on water. Traditionally, these pumps have been difficult to start during an emergency when every second counts. Mr. Parkin quickly assessed the situation, added a foot valve to the suction lines of the pumps, and now both startup and suction is immediately available. His ingenuity and quick problem-solving skills ensured that during emergencies, USACE will be able to respond quickly to an emergency situation. Chris, I know isn't on the line today because he's out doing his mission, not on the Hayward, but on another vessel within our fleet. Chris, you will be presented with an Apple Award of the Month trophy, a Commander's coin, as well as an on-the-spot cash award for $250. I'll look forward to an opportunity to personally present that to you when the time is right. Late last week, Governor Cuomo announced New York State's stay-at-home order is being extended until June 13th to continue to do everything possible to flatten the curve. Even with the order in place for downstate New York, 7 upstates areas have met all 7 state criteria on hospital admissions, available beds, testing, and tracing. As a result, those areas are beginning phase 1 of the state's reopening plan, which includes allowing the construction, agricultural, retail, manufacturing, wholesale trade industries to return to work. Retail reopening will be limited to curbside or in-store pickups for the time being. New Jersey is also beginning its reopening phase with non-essential retail stores, which began on Monday. May 18th for curbside pickup if they follow certain requirements. Non-essential construction has also restarted. This comes as chartered boat services resumed operations in the state on Sunday, May 17th. I'm sure you also noticed an uptick in activity this past weekend with the wonderful weather we had, and people were able to get out and enjoy themselves. Hopefully you all took advantage of it, but always maintain social distancing and those personal preventive measures. We are also continuing to monitor the situation tied to business reopenings very carefully as we work to begin formulating our own plans for updating our max telework posture. Part of our plan will include health protection measures in support of our workforce, and we are following the lead of our elected officials until the stay-at-home order is lifted. Until that is lifted, our maximum telework posture will continue. However, all essential functions have never stopped. We never closed. We never stopped performing our mission. We just performed it from alternate work locations, and we're still able to meet our mission. On average, we have about 60% of the district workforce that is teleworking, and the other 40% are currently working in the field as we speak. Throughout our 9 offices throughout the state of New York, New Jersey, and a small degree in Thule Air Base, Greenland. Nationwide, many states continue to reopen. 32 states are in the midst of phased reopening under restrictions such as allowing fewer customers, requiring workers and customers to wear a mask, and enforcing social distance. Even as governors lift orders, stricter local orders may remain in place by city or counties. 12 states, including New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, have eased restrictions and allowed certain businesses to reopen. 4 more states, including Connecticut, are making plans to begin phased reopening. 2 states, Illinois and Michigan, remain shut at this time. Washington, D.C. has also extended its stay-at-home order until June 8th. I'd also like to reiterate the principles of the emergency paid sick leave policy as handed down by the Department of Defense. Based on the guidance we received under the emergency leave provisions of the Family First Coronavirus Response Act, a federal employee qualifies for emergency paid sick time if the employee is unable to work or unable to telework because the employee meets a qualifying factor, which includes is subject to a federal, state, or local quarantine or isolation order related to COVID-19, has been advised by a healthcare provider to self-quarantine related to COVID-19, is experiencing COVID-19 symptoms and is seeking a medical diagnosis, is caring for an individual subject to a quarantine order, isolation order, or self-quarantine, is caring for a child under 18 years of age whose school or place of care is closed or child care provider is unavailable for reasons related to COVID-19, and then is experiencing any other substantially similar condition specified in the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services in consultation with the Secretaries of the Treasurer of Labor. If you believe you qualify on one of these categories, I encourage you to speak with your supervisor to determine the best course of action going further. Whether you're working from home or traveling around in various capacities, please continue to take all appropriate precautions, such as frequently washing your hands and don't touch your face, cover your mouth while you're sneezing or coughing, and no shaking hands. I mean, these are just small measures that go a long way. Social distancing has been proven to be the crucial step in slowing transmission of the virus, and New York State continues to mandate everyone in public must wear a face covering where social distancing isn't possible. With school closures and distance learning requirements continuing to be a major priority for a large number of district employees, I continue to urge all of our supervisors at each level to be considerate of these circumstances while still getting the mission accomplished. Unfortunately, as I stated during our last town hall, even with additional guidelines in social distancing and max telework, people in New York District have and may continue to become infected with this virus. The number is very low in terms of how many New York District employees have become infected with the virus, but 1 is still too many. I cannot stress the importance of the daily accountability we are doing and the personal preventive measures each of you are performing. Your efforts continue to be a vital piece of the puzzle when it comes to assessing the workforce's overall health. Our district internet site continues to be a resource for information concerning the COVID-19 pandemic, and we'll continue to keep it relevant going forward. Our Federal Employee Assistance Program counselor, Bernadette Sweeney, also continues to be available if you feel the need to speak with someone. We're also continuing to issue weekly safety message for situational awareness, and would like to share the highlights from the most recent edition I sent out early this week. If we all do our part, we can continue to flatten the curve and reduce the spread of this virus, keeping ourselves safe as well as all of those around us. As is custom, USACE will continue to manage leadership transition, although there have been some changes. On May 12th, General Semonite received notification that he has been extended by the President of the United States until General Spellman is confirmed. Lieutenant General Semonite sent that message out to the district, or not to the district, but to the entire workforce. And this action also enables us to have continuity of command as we continue to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic. There are no changes to the NAD change of command. General Milhorn will relinquish command to Brigadier General Tickner, and we'll pass along the date as soon as that information becomes available. I think it still remains 15 July, but it may change. General Butch Graham will return to headquarters USACE and become the Deputy Commanding General for Civil Works. He was previously the Chief of Staff at headquarters USACE prior to coming to the Commander of North Atlantic Division. We look forward to welcoming him back to the USACE team. Also, the end of my tenure is rapidly approaching. I believe it's 36 days from now. And I'll relinquish command on June 25th to Colonel Matt Lozado, who will actually sign in this Friday as he makes a visit here into the city. I'd also like to take a moment to say a few words about Memorial Day. Each year on the last Monday of May, we celebrate Memorial Day. The day has a deeper meaning for this country, and though public observances and festivities are scaled down this year due to the pandemic, that does not stop us from honoring our fallen. On Monday, May 25th, let us pause to reflect on the supreme sacrifices made by those quintessential military service members, our heroes of liberty. Let us also spare a thought for those unsung heroes for whom the loss is so much more personal, the families and loved ones of those this day is dedicated to honoring. In closing, let me say the district continues to demonstrate what it means when we say building strong during these trying times. I'm honored to be able to watch your dedication, your unwavering courage, and selfless service every day as your district commander. Please remain safe and take care of yourself. Thank you. Building strong.
Sir, it's now, I guess, the opportunity to answer some questions. We did open up the town hall email site with regard to being able to send in email questions. So if you go to email cnan-town-hall@usace.army.mil, you can email your questions in. Also, if you're a subscriber to YouTube, you can actually type into your chat window your questions, and we'll be happy to provide feedback to the group.
Well, we do have the first question, Matt.
Yep, absolutely, sir. The first question came in a little after the last town hall, but we still wanted to provide an opportunity here. The question is, will the USACE NAN be continuing max telework to allow for employees with children now attending online instruction from home? If so, will there be any new guidance issued on how the telework program will be implemented and executed during the extended school closures and any that may follow as a result of the pandemic?
So currently, our max telework posture remains in place as we move forward. I know that school, there's been a lot of graduations. My daughter finished her junior year of college, and we're starting to see a lot of high school graduations. Right now, just recent news is showing that some summer camps may open, some summer schools may open, but all of those that have currently been teleworking with justification to telework because of performing childcare or elder care, and that childcare is also for those school-age children as well as those children that are in daycare. So I see that posture continuing in order to provide that telework opportunity, that flexibility to the workforce, and we'll continue to monitor, those school closures and adjust accordingly.
Sir, I have another question here. It says, good morning to all. Thank you for what you're doing. The question is, please elaborate on the potential approach for New York employees who live in New Jersey and have closures in place, travel restrictions, etc.
That's the challenge. So you have the tri-state region, and I know that the governors, both within Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, have tried to create synergy amongst each one of those states, because that is our commuting radius. And to some degrees, people even commute outside of that. I know we have district employees that live in Pennsylvania and in some outlying areas, so they travel over long distances. And so that really comes down to a case by case, individual based, condition based, responsible return to the workforce. We are following the guidance of the leaders over top of us in terms of the governor and what the mayor of New York is put in place. So we are looking for what happens here in the borough of Manhattan. And currently, as I said before, our current stay-at-home order for New York is the 13th of June. For New Jersey, I believe it tracks the same, or it's actually even later. Rich, correct me if I'm wrong, is New Jersey 30 June?
Right now, sir, yes, I do believe that the governor has also said he would keep it in place indefinitely, but the 30 June is the latest decision point. Sir.
Yeah, and then although that you see other businesses open or reopening, and those are people that have been waiting to get back to work. All of you have continued to work. You've never been prevented to work. So while other members of our communities are just itching to get back to work, drove by a coffee shop, Laughing Man Coffee, my favorite coffee shop, is finally open again, but for curbside only. So you can stop and get a cup of coffee, make sure you're wearing a mask. So the real question is when does it become safer in order to travel into the city? I think all of you are watching on the news the great links that the MTA is doing in order to ensure the safety of its passengers and riders. UV Light is looking at trying to kill the virus on contact with new technology. They've invested $1 million. Additionally, the MTA has been closing the subway from 01 to 05 every morning in order to do a deep cleaning, in order to support all the essential workers that are out there. All of you are essential workers. You all are part of the New York district. You are all federal employees, and every one of us are performing essential functions. It's just where you're performing those essential functions from, whether you're doing it right here at 26 Federal Plaza, whether you're doing it from the upstate New York field office, whether you're doing it from Joint Base down in New Jersey, whether you're working at Picatinny Arsenal. We continue to deliver the program in a very special way. Again, we have not stopped. It's just when do we change our posture from maximum telework out of an abundance of caution, and then start seeing those employees return here to 26 Federal Plaza.
All the questions I have.
It's all the current questions, sir.
Let's see. I'm uncertain about this one. If there are no further questions, I always look forward to the opportunity to step out in front of the camera here, and we're looking to try and leverage this technology to promote open dialogue between the leadership of the district and the employees. We've only got 146 people logged on today. Attendance in the past is approached over 250. So maybe this media isn't an effective way in order to communicate. And, you know, I'm doing what I can in order to effectively communicate to the workforce by providing a weekly safety message to reach out to each of you. And then, you know, also provide this open dialogue. So we'll continue to reach out to you. We'll continue to put advance notice. I'm looking at doing a town hall at least every 2 weeks. And then as a new commander comes on board, I'll continue to encourage him to keep up the same practice in order to communicate with the workforce as we see changes that may be coming up in the future. Next big waypoint is going to be the 13th of June, and see how our posture may change. So as soon as we know that that stay in order is going to be lifted, we'll let you all know. We'll be communicating to supervisors and leaders across the district and how we may begin that responsible transition back to this, you know, COVID restricted operating environment.
Sir, I do have one more question that just came in. If and when there is a vaccine, will the medical at Plaza be available for it? Or I guess the question is, would they have it available for us? Similar to the flu shot, I don't believe we'll be able to do that any longer, but questions.
Well, I would have to believe if a vaccine becomes available, just like you get your flu shot, you'll go to your local health provider. You know, I go to Walgreens. That's where I pick up my prescriptions. I'm sure it's going to be made available there. As a military service member, typically we do shots. The flu shot is provided to us. I have to go to a military installation. So wherever you receive your health care from, that's where you would be receiving it. I know that recently downstairs that those services under the current policy have not been rescinded. That's the improper word. But if the question was specific, are they going to be provided in the building? I don't have that answer. We'll have to come back to you.
Yeah, that's perfect. I got a comment saying thank you, sir. So that's all. That's all I have, Mike.
All right. Well, hey, thanks everybody for your time today. Thanks for joining us. For those that did make the time, again, this will be posted on the internet site, so you can you know, click on it and rewatch it or share it with your colleagues that didn't have an opportunity because they were too busy delivering the program.
Sure.
That's the honest.
We still live?